everybody, how are you doing today? I am doing very well, thank you. My name is Jodi Lakin. So today I'm just going to do a little show and tell before I actually get into the proper part of the video. But I wanted to show you this little book cover that I got in a gachapon machine. If you don't know what a gachapon machine is, it's like a small machine that have like capsule toys inside, and they cost anywhere from $1 to $3. This one in particular was $3, so it was 300 yen. And I don't know if you recognize this artist, but this artist is Shinsuke Yoshitake, and he was one of the illustrators for Hobonichi this year. He did a cover for them and also those little stickers that I showed you. So when I saw this in a gachapon machine for $3, I couldn't believe it. It's an actual book cover with one of his real book covers on the front. So this book in particular is called Can I Build Another Me? And you can get his books in English, and I highly recommend them. They're very comical. They're good for, I'd say, ages 8, around that age. They're very funny and they get you thinking, and the illustrations are just so cute and comical too. I actually read one of his books recently and I really enjoyed it, so now I want all of them. And I want to collect all of those little book covers. I think they're so cute and they're just great for in your bag as well. So I might go and get the other ones as well. But for $3, I thought it's so cheap. In pounds, it would be, I don't know, like £1 or £2 something. So it was really cheap, but for such a nice thing with his illustrations on. So anyway, today we are going to be doing some scrapbook style Hobonichi page spreads, because I have been picking up a lot of little bits here and there. I've got some photographs and some stickers and just a lot of things that I wanted to include in my Hobonichi, and the best way to do that is to just stick everything in, is what I find. So that is exactly what I'm doing now. The day that I'm on right now, you might see, is Halloween, and yes, even though the Halloween season is well and truly over, I still have to document it. So I've got the 30th and 31st, and we had a very small Halloween party with like 3 or 4 friends, and it was really, really fun. We dressed up as our D&D characters, which was really fun. And my friend also made these stickers. Her name is Anik, and she does amazing illustrations. And those are the little stickers you can see there in the book, the little illustrations. So I will link her Instagram down below so you can go and check out her work. Please give her a follow. She's a really nice friend of mine, and she lives in Japan too. So I have 2 Polaroid photos, and then I'm also cutting out, this was a leaflet that I found in the supermarket, and it had examples of little chocolate animals and pumpkins and different things you could make, and I just thought it was so adorable, so I cut them out, because obviously our friends bought lots of like sweet treats to the party. And if you can see in the bottom right, this little mushroom character, usually they don't come with the eye on, it's just a mushroom, like a chocolate and biscuit mushroom, and it's so delicious. Like if you ever come to Japan, just try these, because they're really, really nice. It's like a solid block of chocolate with a little bit of biscuit on. It's really, really delicious. So anyway, so this page was really fun for me. I did hardly any drawing at all on it. As you can see, I used my Posca pen to add some details, just to tie the whole page in together. But overall, I think it's quite different to how I usually do my pages. I have no writing on this page whatsoever, like no explanation of the day or anything like that. I just had so many things that I wanted to stick in. So that is it. This is the finished piece. I'm really happy with it. Piece, like it's an art piece. This is the finished page. Moving on to the second page that I did, the second page spread even. this was a really nice day. Me and my husband went to look at the autumn leaves here in Japan, and it's a big thing that many people do. Like, they come up from Tokyo, or they come up from any city that they're in, and they come to these more rural areas where me and my husband live, and they come to do the autumn leaf viewing. And we're quite lucky that we live in almost like it's like a tourist area where people come to see different like views and things like that of the countryside. So even though we are quite isolated in the countryside, many people come here, and we have a very busy road that runs right past our house. So it's still quiet, but it's kind of nice because it's a perfect mix between like being in a really busy city and being in the countryside. We still end up seeing a lot of people around. So on this particular day, we drove out of our town and into another town to see the autumn leaves there. It's quite funny when you live in a place that people want to come to see where you live. Oh, I finished. That was really quick. Okay, so like I said, we went to see the autumn leaves, and we went to a little restaurant, and I just wanted to document that here. So I have this really nice autumnal looking page, and I'd like to do a couple more pages like that before the season is over for sure. Okay, so moving on to the third page that I did, I wanted to do like sort of a collective page of labels and things that I'd picked up recently. So my husband actually went away for a few days, and it was very strange because it made me realize that we haven't been apart like overnight for a really long time. So it was kind of strange, but it was fine. It was I was okay. I was fine. Everyone was worried about me, but I was totally fine. So, and he came back and he bought me some gifts. So with those gift tags, I wanted to draw some of the things, and I wanted to put in some of the stickers and things. So it was really fun. I really enjoyed going through all my labels and things like that. And often I forget, I don't know about you guys, but I always forget like what I bought on a particular trip. I don't often buy very much. I usually buy maybe like 1 to 3 things, depending where I've been. Like a souvenir or something like a sticker or something like that. To actually remember the trip. But if it's not something that looks so memorable, like say like this Lush bath bomb, like I could have gotten that anywhere, but if I stick it here, I'll remember that it was from this specific trip. So yeah, I also got this beautiful Animal Crossing paper, if you can see that in the middle there. It was a really nice notebook, and the pen that I'm using too is Animal Crossing. So I'm very excited for the update of Animal Crossing. I haven't played in a really long time. I was definitely one of those people that got excited at the beginning and then played a few times. I played around Halloween, I think, but other than that, I didn't really play very much. So I'm excited for the new update. Let me know if you are too. Then maybe I can visit your island, or you can visit my island. That would be fun. I'm really tempted to just start from the beginning, like totally start from the beginning again. But I'm too nervous. But anyway, so I drew this little picture of this character called Cintino. He's a new-ish Pokemon. I think he came out 2018 or maybe even earlier than that. Actually, I'm not sure. I think he might have even been like featured. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure when he came out, but this particular plushie is brand new. Like, it only just came out in September. That's another thing. We're quite lucky that we live in Japan because we can get hold of all those things, like all the new Pokemon stuff, which it's obviously very popular around the world. So yeah, so this is one of the new plushies. It's so cute, and it's so soft. It's like the really soft range that they do. And anyway, I drew the picture originally and I just absolutely hated it. So I went over it again with some acrylic gouache, and you can totally use acrylic gouache in your Hobonichi. You just have to be careful not to use too much water, and if you're not a fan of the page crinkling, then that could happen. So the more water you use, the more the page is going to crinkle, because obviously it's not super absorbent paper, it's really, really thin paper, so you just have to be mindful that the water has to go somewhere, so it will crinkle if you put too much on. But yeah, I really like the way that page turned out, just sort of like just a selection of everything, really. It was it was fun to do, just to put the labels somewhere. So then this page, I wanted to do like a fun photo / illustration. I used to do this actually when I studied illustration for a while at college, and this was something that I did in my final piece, was that I used photographs and illustrations, like I mixed them together. And it's really fun to do. Like, I really like the way it looks as well. I also used like different textures and collage, and like cut out different textures, and that was really fun too. But yeah, I really like the way this looks in particular, like mixing the real life world with the drawings. So recently I've been eating a lot of Japanese food. I mean, what do you expect? I do live in Japan. But every time I get ramen, I can't finish it. They do these massive bowls of ramen, and they're very generous with their serving sizes, and I can just never ever finish it, and it bothers me every single time. So recently I went to have ramen, and again I did not finish it, and I have to pass it over to whoever wants to finish it. If there's any, like, my husband usually finishes it, to be honest, but yeah, so I've done this illustration of like me looking completely overwhelmed at the size of the ramen. I think I should have done the face a little smaller to make the ramen look bigger, but I know the situation, so that's why I did it like that. And I've got my chopsticks ready in the air, ready to dive in. And if you've never had ramen, it's like salty, it's like a salty broth. You can have like a miso broth or a salt broth, and it has noodles in there, and usually has vegetables on top and some onions, and then it has usually pork and an egg usually, but it's really nice. But it's quite oily, so I don't eat ramen all that often, but if I'm really hungry, then I'll order it, which is what happened the other day, but I still didn't finish it. It's so frustrating. So then I also on the same day I went to see the autumn leaves with Jack. I also went to like, they have these like little service station, like rest stops around the countryside, and if you go into them, they often have things that are local to that particular village or that area that you're in, like handmade goods, or things that the area is known for. Like if it's known for growing rice, like, which is around my area, they'll have a lot of bags of rice or things made from rice, like mochi or sake. So I went to one of these stores, and they have lots and lots of leaflets, just lots of leaflets of like beautiful views and various things that you can see in the area. So I picked up lots of those leaflets. I love collecting them because it's like beautiful pictures of the area that you live in. So you're obviously going to get better pictures than ones that you could take on your phone or anything like that. Also, my little mini printer has broken. I'm in the process of trying to get it changed. I might end up with another Polaroid zip, but I wouldn't be able to recommend them just because of how mine has broken. And you might have seen in the previous the second page that I did here, like, I used some of the photos from the zip, and they've got lines down them, so it's not good. So that's kind of one of the reasons I picked up these leaflets, is so that I could still put the images in there without without having to use my little mini printer. So So yeah, so this one is actually of the cherry blossom, but because I did my hair, all the characters' hair pink, I wanted to add a little bit of pink in there. And this particular area, I drive past this cherry blossom area every day on my way to work, or like every other day. And I've never been able to get a picture of it because it's right next to some traffic lights and there's not an obvious place to park. And I always wanted a photograph of it, and I missed it this year. The year just gone, April just gone. I completely missed it. So I have one more chance to one more chance to see it before I leave. I'm going to be leaving next August, like permanently. So, which is a really scary thought, because from now, every season that we have is going to be our last season in Japan. So I'm really trying to capture each season. So yeah, that's why I pick up all these leaflets. So that is it for today's video. I'm just going to show you a close-up detail of each page so you can see, but it was really fun to just do some more scrapbook style in my Hobonichi. I definitely use it as more of a diary and a small place to document my memories. Sometimes I write lists in there. It's honestly a whatever journal for me. I'm not so particular with how I use it, but I just love that it's like can fit in my hand, and it took me 2 hours to do 4 pages, which if you think about like a scrapbook, that's quite good really. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you again next Sunday with a brand new video. I hope you all have a wonderful week and don't get too cold. I'll see you next week. Bye.